35. Hello everyone and welcome back to English with Ansar. In today's session, I am going to talk about our new lesson, The Dear Departed Part 1, One Act Play, Class 10th, Unit 2, page number 35. Let us learn the characters of this lesson. What are the characters of this lesson? Here we have characters. Number 1, Mr. Abel Merriweather. Who is Mr. Abel Merriweather? Father of Amelia and Elizabeth. Number 2, Mrs. Amelia Slater. And number 3, Mrs. Elizabeth Jordan. So Mrs. Amelia Slater and Mrs. Elizabeth Jordan both are sisters. Both are sisters and they are daughters of Mr. Abel Merriweather. Number 4, Mr. Henry Slater. Who is Mr. Henry Slater? Husband of Amelia. Number 5, Mr. Ben Jordan. Who is Mr. Ben Jordan? Husband of Elizabeth. Victoria. Number 6 is Victoria. Who is Victoria? A girl of 10, Amelia's daughter. Amelia's daughter. And who is Jimmy? Jimmy, a young boy. Who is Jimmy? Elizabeth's son. So these are the characters of our new lesson. What is the name of new lesson? The Dear Departed Part 1. One Act Play, Class 10th, Unit 2. So one more simple, easy and interesting way of learning characters of The Dear Departed Part 1. So Mr. Abel Merriweather is a father of Amelia, Mrs. Amelia, and Elizabeth Jordan, Mrs. Elizabeth Jordan. So, who is the father of Mrs. Amelia and Mrs. Elizabeth Jordan? Mr. Abel is the father of Mrs. Amelia and Mrs. Amelia Slater and Mrs. Elizabeth Jordan. Next one, Henry Slater. Henry Slater is husband of Amelia. Who is Henry Slater? Husband of Amelia. Who is Ben Jordan? Ben Jordan is husband of Elizabeth. Ben Jordan is husband of Elizabeth. Next one, Victoria, a girl of 10. A girl of 10. Who is Victoria? Amelia's daughter. Who is Victoria? Amelia's daughter. And Jimmy, a young boy. Who is Jimmy? Elizabeth's son. The Dear Departed Part 1. The One Act Play, The Dear Departed by William Stanley Horton, is a social play which reveals the pathetic condition of the elders and how they are ill-treated, neglected and deserted by their own children. It is a satire that criticizes the degradation of moral values in the world. It shows the hollow relations between two daughters and their father. This play discovers the breaking of human relationship in the modern world. The two daughters and their husbands have waited for the old man's death. They do not show any concern for the old man. They only want his belongings but never love him. Mr. Abel Merriweather, an old man, has two daughters, Amelia and Elizabeth. Amelia is married to Henry Slater and Elizabeth to Ben Jordan. Victoria is the Slaters' only daughter. Abel is a widower and since the death of his wife, he has been living by turns with his daughters. At present, Abel stays with the Slaters. One morning, when Mrs. Slater takes up a bit of something on a tray and goes into the old man's room, finding the man in deep sleep, she thinks that he is dead. Without checking if the old man is really dead, the Slaters send a telegram to the Jordans, revealing the much-awaited death. Mrs. Slater asks her daughter Victoria to change her dress before her aunt, Elizabeth and uncle Ben come. She tells her that they are coming to talk over Grandpa's affairs. Henry wonders if they would come at all, as Elizabeth said she would never set her foot in their house again. But Mrs. Slater is sure that her sister will come to take the share of whatever their father has left. Mrs. Slater asks her husband to wear her father's new slippers so that those could be theirs. Then she tells him that she always wanted to have her father's bureau after his death. She says that they could put their shabby chest of drawers upstairs where the bureau is. So she asks her husband to help bring down the bureau. Mrs. Slater fastens the front door and they carry old chest of drawers upstairs. In the meanwhile, Victoria comes there after she changes her dress according to her mother's instructions. Henry is shocked when Victoria asks him if they are planning to pinch the grandpa's things. Henry and Mrs. Slater put the bureau where the chest of drawers was. Mrs. Slater carries the grandpa's clock under her arm and puts it on the mantelpiece. Then there is a knock at the door and Victoria welcomes Ben and Mrs. Jordan. Mrs. Jordan says that finally their father has been dead. Mrs. Slater replies that he was 72 on fourth night the previous Sunday. She also tells her that her father was happy that morning and went to pay his premium. Then he was found dead on his bed. Then Mrs. Slater asks them if they will go up and look at him. But Mrs. Jordan prefers tea. Then they think about the announcement in the newspapers. They want to look through the old man's bit of things and make a list of them. Mrs. Jordan tells that father has promised his gold watch for Jimmy. Mrs. Slater is amazed to hear this. Ben talks about the insurance money. He asks if they have got receipt for the premium paid by the old man. Victoria informs that Grandpa did not go to pay his insurance that morning. At this, Ben calls the old man as drunken old beggar. Mrs. Slater tells Victoria to run upstairs and fetch the bunch of keys that is on her grandpa's dressing table. At first, Victoria does not want to go into grandpa's room. Later, she goes out reluctantly. After some time, Victoria returns very scared and tells her mother that grandpa is getting up. They are transfixed with amazement because they all think him to be dead. The door opens, revealing the old man, Mr. Abel Merriweather. He comes down and they cannot believe this fact. I hope you have understood this lesson, The Dear Departed Part 1. Thank you for watching my videos. Enjoy learning. Have a great day.